Welcome back to Iowa Live. As I look at the Iowa Speedway logo, I say, almost welcome back to Iowa Speedway as we are getting all geared up already for 2020 at the Iowa Speedway. So we brought in the big guns here, Jackie. We brought in the president of Iowa Speedway, David Hite. Good to see you, pal.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
It is so cool. We are in October.
Yeah.
The 22nd of October. And there's going to be a race car on the track.
Can you believe that?
Today.
We are excited, and hopefully it's the wind dies down a good bit.
We were going to ask about that.
I don't know how it's going to affect them, but the thing about these cars, they are so low to the ground. These ground pounder modifieds are just so low to the ground that I don't think that the wind will keep them off the racetrack for what they want to do today.
All right, we are talking about a new addition to the lineup in 2020, Jackie.
All right, so let's talk about it. What kind of cars are we talking about?
So the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour, it's NASCAR's oldest division and NASCAR's only open wheel division. So when you think about how far this goes back, Red Byron, who won NASCAR's first championship in 1949, did so as a modified driver.
Right.
And
now, these are the ones that they used to race on the beach, in fact?
They did race modifieds on the beach a long time ago, but these really got their roots and really grew in New England. So they're really, really strong up there. Guys like Jerry Cook and Jamie Tomeno. I mean, the list goes on. Ryan Preece, who won one of our races here a few years ago, he came up through the modified series. So
and the Bodines.
The Bodines were in there. I mean, there's a lot of great names who came through this series, but these cars are, as they say in New England, wicked fast.
So how do these differ? And we were seeing some video there. How do they differ from what we typically see on the Iowa Speedway track?
Yeah, so obviously they're about 700 pounds or so lighter than a stock car.
Okay.
They have no fenders on them, as you can tell. So open wheels, which doesn't always lend itself to bumping and banging. But if you notice, these cars have what we call Nerf bars on them. So it allows them to lean on each other a little bit in the corners. They are about 2 feet wider than a stock car. And you don't really notice that when you look at them because they look smaller, but if you sit them side by side, they're about 2 feet wider, and they're like a ½ inch off the ground. I mean, they just hug the ground like a vacuum cleaner. So when you talk about the speeds, second to the Indy cars and how fast they run at our track, these guys are going to be the second. Oh, yeah, they're going to be.
So these are faster than the Cup cars?
Absolutely.
Oh, not even just, absolutely.
Absolutely. At this track, small block V8, high horsepower to weight ratio. These guys are going to get around that track. I can't wait to get out there and see it today.
Yeah, we have some more video here. We can show you these things and how quick they do go. And you mentioned they hug the track. Look here it is up close. You can see what these guys look like. But this is, and around here, people are going to say, hey, these kind of look similar, not exactly the same, but similar to the modifieds that run on dirt.
They do, and that's one of the things we like about it. Now, this is the first time this series has not only been at Iowa Speedway, but has been this far west in the U.S. I mean, they're always northeast and Atlantic Seaboard is where you see most of their racing, and they're on short tracks in most places. So our place and New Hampshire, where they'll race the week before they come here, are their two big tracks. So we're kind of like going to a super speedway for them. And if you think about New Hampshire, it's much more flat than our track.
I was going to say, it's not like Iowa Speedway. Iowa Speedway has the big banking on it.
Right. So that's the other thing that we feel like is really going to add to the mix here is when you put the banking in here, and you put these cars on our racetrack, man, they are going to be wicked fast.
Why is this an important addition to what Iowa Speedway has to offer?
Yeah, well, number one, it's brand new. It's a new type of racing coming to not just the state, but to our track, and nice infusion of maybe some new fans come out to check us out. We've heard some talk around some of the local short tracks that, hey, this is kind of cool. We want to come see that because there's some similarities into what we're racing in dirt modifieds.
Right.
And the guys in New England, the guys in the Wheel and Modified garage have already talked it up. They can't wait to get here. So you got a lot of all this, excitement building. And for us, it rounds us out to, I think, we'd really like to have them with the Indy cars. A whole open wheel weekend.
Yeah, what a combo,
but our open wheel weekend, our IndyCar weekend is the same weekend as when these cars are in New Hampshire. So we can't really make that jigsaw puzzle work. But we think it's just going to be a huge addition, for the type of racing that we have, adding something new to the mix and getting something special for the fans.
Yeah, and the 2020 schedule looks phenomenal, doesn't it?
We're all on Friday, Saturday nights this time.
Right, that's a new addition.
Yeah, no Sunday afternoon. So we start, again, second weekend of June. And when we do that, Friday, June 12, Saturday, June 13, we are not going to be interfering with Father's Day. Father's Day is the next week out. So,
okay.
So we're ahead of the Father's Day curve on that second week of June.
And this is a great combo, too. Having the trucks and the Xfinity Series at one location, that's unique in its own right.
It is, and you don't get many of those. That's the other nice doubleheader. And, last year, this past season, when we had a little Mother Nature interfere with what we were doing, people tended to like the fact that those two races were stacked together on the same day. We can't quite make that work again by design, and we're not asking for it. My lips to God's ears, don't rain on us. But at the end of the day, getting those two together, those are two of NASCAR's national touring series, and getting them at the same track at the same time. You do get them later in the year now. You'll see a few races here at the end of the NASCAR playoffs with all three series running to establish their playoffs and the championships. But yeah, we're unique in the fact that we've got them both at the same weekend. So it's a big deal. It's a big, good ticket weekend. And what we've done is accelerated the opportunities. People have been able to buy our season tickets since the end of our race season. But now we're putting, in conjunction with this test, we're putting our weekend tickets and our single day tickets on sale today. So if you want to get ahead of the Christmas rush and buy those holiday gifts, now's a good time to do that.
And the price point is very favorable, too. People can really take advantage of having all this entertainment at a value price.
Absolutely. Single day tickets for our Gander Outdoors Truck Series and our Xfinity Series and our IndyCar Series are all at $20 each.
$20.
Yeah, how about that? And
reasonable.
A Wheeling modified tour, you can come in the door for $15. So
really,
yeah, and I think it's a great value for the ticket. And if you want to go full season, you can get a full season ticket for $99. That's 6 races, 3 weekends. So we'd love to have folks come and even if you just check us out for one race, check us out for a weekend, come early because you'll want to come back.
Yeah, okay. We showed you the June schedule here, the weekend in June, the Friday and Saturday in June. Take a look at July, because July is going to be a busy July.
Yeah, it'll be a busy July. Now, unlike this year, we won't be back-to-back weekends.
Okay, now I want you to explain for everybody that's watching right now the ARCA Menard Series Iowa 150, because this has a little different flavor to it, right?
It does. So if you remember last year, and another reason we've brought the modifieds to bear is because the NASCAR K&N Series, which ran on our last weekend of the year with the Xfinity Series, was merged into the ARCA Menard Series. NASCAR bought the ARCA Menard Series and ARCA as a sanctioning body about a year ago, and those two series had so much alike about them that it just didn't make sense not to put them together. So at the end of the day, they've basically created this combined series with an East Division, a West Division, a Super Speedway Division, and a Shootout Division. So that division gets 4 championships at the end of the year, running all the same races. So where we are is we're in one of those cool places here in the middle of the Midwest where we can combine all of the regional sides of that together so we get the whole picture.
Right.
So think about what you saw last year with the K&N Series, merge it with what you saw with the ARCA Series. We think we're going to have huge car count that's going to show up for that race, and it's going to be, I think, a very physical race. And that's the other thing about stock cars: lean on each other, bounce off each other. Rubbin's racing, right?
They're bumping and banging. But you mentioned that the two kind of merged into one and grew a little bit more. That opened up the date for the modifieds. And if people want to see the modifieds on the track and what you've been talking about, how fast these vehicles are, in about 15 minutes is when they're planning on having a car hit the track, right?
Yeah, today's the day. Doug Coby, who is the reigning and now 6-time.
6-time.
How about that? Wheeling Modified Tour champion. And he ties the record for modern era championships. The modern era of the series, somebody put a date on it, starting in the mid-1980s. So he ties, I think, Tony Hirschman with most modified championships in that time period. And he just won his 6th one a couple of weeks ago with his race.
It's like 6 out of the last 8 seasons.
Yeah.
He won, So this guy's good.
He's very good. And he's in town, got here last night, headed out to the track this morning, and they'll be on the track, like you said, in about 15, 20 minutes, and hopefully turning some laps all day. We have opened the back gate by our admin office where our RVs overlook the racetrack. So drive out, drive in, take a look at this guy getting around the racetrack, because he's going to be fast and it's going to be fun.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we were just talking to some friends not too long ago. When you think about NASCAR or the amazing things that you were offering at Iowa Speedway, what other professional sport are you able to get that close and actually meet the people that are behind the wheel and providing this incredible entertainment and athletic ability? You can't do that in any other sport but what you guys are able to offer.
That's true. And we've tried to create some opportunities to get fans in front of those drivers, whether it's our IndyCar autograph session where they come up on the Midway and the concourse to meet with fans. Our other series do that as well. We have our fan walk opportunity, our red carpet where we bring the drivers out into the drivers meeting before the race. Fans can come down there and get up close and personal. And these drivers are always excited, about seeing their fans. Sometimes they're in game face mode, and we got to realize that, because it takes a little bit of concentration. I find it's always fun to give someone a ride around the racetrack just in the pace car, because all of a sudden they get a new appreciation for what these guys are thinking on the racetrack. Even at the speeds we're taking you on the pace car, it feels confined and faster than you think you're going. And then you tell them, oh, by the way, put 35 of your best friends out here trying to do the same thing and get past you on this. Oh, and add another 50 miles an hour to this. And what do you think? And they're like, oh my gosh, I never realized. So these guys, it is. And they sometimes get their game face on, but trust me when I tell you, they enjoy meeting the fans. And I've known drivers who have really gotten to know some of our Iowa fans out here in a way that they'll show up and go out to the motorhome and have breakfast with someone just because they've gotten to know them over the years. It's very cool.
It's pretty amazing. And you could be part of that experience sooner than later, but an opportunity is coming up this afternoon.
Absolutely. Check out iowaspeedway.com. If you can't get out to the racetrack, but please come out if you're over by Newton and want to drive over there. It's a quick drive. I do it every day.
It's 20 minutes from the east side of Des Moines, but this will be happening starting in about 10 minutes right now and lasting till about lunchtime is when they're doing this. Hoosiers out there testing the tires to make sure everything is good and ready to go for next year. So just go on the backstretch where the motorhomes normally park. You can just get up there. And does it cost anything to go there?
Doesn't cost a nickel. Just come in the driveway by the admin building, and it'll probably be all day. They may not, so they're going to take a break for lunch, talk to some folks, and enjoy some media interviews, and then they'll go back and get some more data in the afternoon.
Excellent. Perfect. And for more information about all the activities next year in 2020,
iowaspeedway.com.
You're the best.
Great to see you,
David.
David.
Thank you, sir. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for having me this morning.
All right, 9 minutes.